Hey folks, Canary Uncaged here. Hope everybody's doing okay. This is going to be just unedited, off the cuff, because I just want to have a moment to speak from the heart, and I also just don't really have the energy to edit. So basically, I last left y'all with an update about a water fast that I was doing, and the fast itself went pretty well. It was definitely important to look after electrolytes, and towards the end there, I was starting to feel a vague hunger. And long story short, I broke my fast a little too fast, and trying to be kind to myself about it because, it was my first time ever really doing something like that. And it's one thing to know that, you're supposed to go slow, another thing to actually get that taste of food in you, and then your body just being like, give me more of that, give me more of that. So was feeling mentally kind of a bit wonky up and down for a couple days. Realized for some reason I actually needed to supplement even more electrolytes than usual. Things started kind of evening out. I guess focusing on the positive, I do feel like my muscles and the injured areas are a little bit stronger, and that mentally, that there was a little bit of like brain healing in terms of brain inflammation and stuff. But the reality of the situation is I have a unique situation because my pelvic nerves have been injured previously. I had a traumatic medical exam in the past. And what has happened is that somehow through the process of just reintroducing food, I got a little inflamed. And what that did, well, quite inflamed actually in my gut, and the result of that was a re-triggering of an old chronic pain condition that when I first experienced it, it started about 2 years ago. The first 6 months to a year, first 6 months I was just so depressed and finding it difficult to find moments of happiness and peace. Waking up was not something I was happy to do. Although, of course, I always tried to look for the best, and I was still self-medicating at that time because it was just very painful to have this injury in a sensitive area that is connected, through a series of branches to your vagus nerve, which is what regulates your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, also known basically as your fight and flight response. So it takes a lot of mental bandwidth to kind of have this pain. Over time, I think the nerve healed a little, it settled down while I was going through the referral cycle of doom with some ridiculous things. I'm sure some of y'all can relate. Like at one point I went to a pain management doctor who told me like, hey, I can do these diagnostic injections for you, but you need to go to the neurologist to have him refer you back to me. And of course the neurologist was like, no, you got to see a pain management doctor about that, all this insurance BS. Long story short, in all that time, it's kind of sort of healed. And now it is re-triggered, and it is difficult. It's hard to describe the nature of pelvic nerve pain. The pain itself is obviously uncomfortable, but like livable, but it's the fact that it essentially, it's like this constant state of panic because the signal from that nerve is just dysregulating my nervous system and sending these alarm signals, and it's just very depressing and sad. These last few days have really been just minute by minute, spending time with people who are close to me, letting it out, crying. I cried today, really for the first time in a long time, like a real cry. I was telling my therapist, I don't know what to do. Like with this pain, I don't know what to do. It's just kind of the straw that's breaking the camel's back. But I also don't know what to do about money. You know, having the energy to make the money I need working, you know, DoorDash has been very difficult this past year, you know, but uh, I'm running low on funds and getting to the point where I really need to figure something out so I can even keep the car, you know, buy food, you know, pay medical, all that stuff. And it's just, it's crunch time, and it's one of the reasons I did this fast. And unfortunately, the pain that I'm feeling is kind of outweighing the benefits. It's a very difficult place to be when you're chronically ill, and any extra sort of layer can really take a lot of mental energy and bandwidth out of you, because you're just kind of taking the energy to hold it all together. And I'm grateful for those opportunities that I've had over the last few days to sort of, when I'm not holding it together, to just kind of let it out, because I don't know what to do. I'm going to apply for disability, I think, but that's a long process. And yeah, Wells Fargo Auto Loan Department doesn't give a crap about my, you know, healing journey. So to anybody else who's in pain, who is struggling today, whatever it may be, pain is pain. Nobody's is less or more valid than the others. Just know that you're not alone. Life can be so hard sometimes. Sometimes there's no clear answer. Sometimes it's okay to just break down. Life is not all unicorns and rainbows. Sometimes it's just, you learn how to deal with it minute to minute, because any longer than that is just overwhelming. You take it just a moment at a time, and you think you can't do it, but you keep proving yourself wrong. And together we can do that today. So thank you for watching. I hope everybody's well. I'm going to go try to grind out a couple dollars tonight and teach my nervous system to ignore these alarm signals, because I deserve to live my life in peace. I deserve better than all of this, and I'm going to find it within myself to find the help that I need. I'm going to do my best, at least. Hope everybody has a good rest of your night. This has been the Canary Uncaged. Peace.